Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, bringing you another very close 2 vs 2 battle in Total War Attila. And this was a subscribers battle replay submitted by Max Laser, so thank you very much. He has sent me quite a few good battles, and I will get to them in the near future. But I did select this one to kind of start off with his battles because this one was very close. It was a lot of good tactics, and it was a pretty fun one to watch. It's not very long. It's about 15 minutes, but it's usually longer than most land battles that I encounter. Even ones that I play myself usually only last about 5 or 6 minutes. So we're going to take a look at the army compositions while it's paused because I want to show you exactly how these guys respond to the ambushing troops, the Ebdanians that are way in on their flanks. They really do some quick thinking on their feet here, and you'll see that in a couple of minutes. But looking at the enemies first, so they've got a lot of these Klibinari and Equites Dalmatae, so that's really most of their force there. And then he's got some Protectores Dominici, and he's got some Ballistariae in the front, looks like 3 units of them. And then he's bringing 2 units of the Hetariae Guard, of course. He's got a Magister Militum. And then we've moved over to the second player, the Tanukhids. So he's bringing some of these Desert Levy. And then he's got some Desert Pikes as well. So these are not the most elite pikes that the Tanukhids can bring. They're, I believe the other pikes are tier 3. These are only tier 1. And then he's got some Eastern Armored Camel Warriors. So I think he has about 5 units of them, or 6. Looks like 6 units of them. Then he's got his general over here, the Desert Warlord. And then he's bringing some Mavia's Chosen and Mavia's Chargers. So 2 very quick units of Shock Cav. And then over on the flanks as well, he's got some Tanukhid Ambushers. So he's also trying to go for a bit of the surprise attack here. Let's take a look at the Eastern Roman Empire on the Allies team. So he's also bringing some Scolae Palatine, or sorry, no, the other ones are bringing Equites Dalmates, sorry. So this is some Scolae Palatine, and he's got Equites Promoti. And he's bringing a nice long line of the Numeroi. As we know, solid infantry unit for the Eastern Roman Empire. And he's got 1 unit of Hetariae Guard and a Palatina Guard as his general. And in front, he's got a longer line of Palatina and Legio. So he's got his kind of tier 1 troops in the front, and then behind he's got his tier 2 more elites. He's actually got some Legio Comitiances in the center, with the Protectores Dominici on the sides, and the Numeroi that we had already seen. And then taking a look at the Ebdanians over here, so he's got some Mortimer cavalry. So this is the best cavalry that the Ebdanians can bring. And they're only tier 2 melee calves, so it's not the best, but let's see if he can make do. Oh, I forgot to show you the rest of the cavalry over here. He's got some Klibinari and Cataphractory. But finishing off with Max Laser's army, so he's also got 3 units of Chosen Raiders over here. So they're a skirmish cavalry, and they're also tier 3, so they can hold their own in melee. And they're really good in sieges, as you can see. They've got excellent capture power, so they can capture some strategic points pretty quickly. And the rest of his forces are all up over here. So he's got some Skada's Teachers, which are a all-woman unit, which is very cool, except for the general, or the captain of the unit and the banner carrier. But he's got some more cavalry up here, and he's got the King's Fianna, more Skada's Teachers, and then he's bringing a lot of Celtic Spears. He's got mixed in some King's Warband as well, so they're pretty elite. And then he's bringing 3 units of Celtic Crossbows. Whew, alright, we can begin this battle. Let's start and play. So right away, you can tell that they don't notice this immediately. They're kind of just sitting there, and they're taking stock of the forces moving forwards. And at this point, the Eastern Roman Empire notices exactly what's going on. And he makes a split-second decision to move away. And I think that that's a really good call. A lot of people get drawn into trying to face the ambush, but that's exactly what they want. Because when you move to face this ambush that's up on the hilltop, the Eastern Roman Empire on this flank is going to sandwich you in between. So if we kind of take a bird's eye view and look at their forces, you can see that the Tanukhids are right on the ball as well, so they're moving forwards their line, and they're going to kind of just swap positions, basically. So now we've got the ambushing army on one flank with the Eastern Roman Empire, and we got most of the forces pretty protected on this flank. The Eastern Roman Empire on this side, he is moving his protectores Dominici a little too forward. I would wait until, you kind of drew up all of your lines first. But the fact that he moved is good. That's really good. So the ambush has been foiled, basically. So now it's just turned back into a land battle. And as you can see, we've got a lot of cavalry moving over to this flank. We got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units of cavalry over on this side. 11, 12, 13, actually. 13 units of cavalry over here. And I think Max Laser realizes this, because there is only 2 units over here of Equites Promoti. So he's moving forwards his chosen raiders and his Mormor cavalry very quickly to this flank, because it's about to go down right here. You can just hear the thunder of the cavalry as the Eastern Romans and their desert comrades move forwards. Look at all those camels, too. Camels actually do cause a fear factor in the ranks of these of the horses as well, so they do have that bonus. He's trying to protect his flanks, as you can see. The rest of the lines kind of need to be drawn up a little bit. They're a little bit out of position here, I would say. They kind of need to line up to face the enemy a little bit more. But it looks like they're going to get the first charge off. He did move forwards with his Equites there, but maybe his chosen has moved in for the kill. And just look at this onslaught of armored camels moving forwards as well to engage in melee. So that is not going to be a good thing. Charging into this charging into the Numeroi here, but really making short work of them over on this flank as well. More camels moving in against the Numeroi. We finally got some of the Clibinari for the Eastern Roman Empire on the Allies' side moving forwards, but there's just so much cav, it's really hard to contain them, as you guys can see. And they're actually pushing forward some cataphractory to try to engage the Mormor cavalry. And I believe those cataphractory will win that engagement. But already the cavalry, the Scolae Palatine for the Eastern Roman Empire on the Allied side is breaking. As you can see, though, Max Laser is continuing to push along the flank, which is keeping the Eastern Roman Empire from supporting their ally. But it looks like they're doing pretty well otherwise. These Tanukhid Ambushers can tear up units, as you can see from zooming in here. Oh, looks like we got some charges in the back, though. I'm not sure if that's from Allies cavalry. Yes, it is. So they're really wrapping up these ambushers pretty effectively. But here's more armored camel warriors to close in the gap. They do get a little bit of a charge off on the camel warriors, but not too much. And how are we looking over here? Let's pop slow-mo on here for a little bit. I'm seeing a lot of blinking on the Allies' Eastern Roman Empire side. These camels are tough. They are tough to take down. And mixed in with these ambushers as well. They look like assassins. I love it. And it looks like the Numeroi are breaking because they are pulling back. This guy's kind of was dazed. Yeah, there he goes. He was almost like frozen in fear looking at the camels. But they do look pretty terrifying, I do have to say. Looks like more Numeroi is breaking as well, so that is not a good sign. How are we looking in other areas of the map? Looks like we got some Mormor cavalry trying to support their friendly comrades, but they were already broken by the Mavia's Chosen. Or I should say by Mavia's Chosen, not the Mavia's Chosen. But yeah, they got to charge off. They're catching a couple of them, but most of them are going to be able to get away from that. Max Laser is effectively using his chosen raiders, though. He's being very patient with them. These desert pikes that are moving up are going to do nothing. I would just pull them back if I was the Tanukhid player, because they're just going to be picked off by these skirmish cavalry. But yeah, it's looking like bad news for the Eastern Roman Empire on the Allies' side. Let's swing over. It looks like we're just about to see some engagement here. I'm hoping we do. He needs to move in with them, though, because they're taking some losses. These Scathless Teachers, they are an excellent unit, but the only problem is that... oh, no, this is the King's Warband. My apologies. But even with the Scathless Teachers, they're only an 80-man unit. So, you know, going up against these ones of 160, it's a little difficult when the numbers aren't there. Fight, men, fight. What do we got over here? It looks like we got some more cavalry even running forwards. Yeah, the cavalry is just endless for the enemy armies here. Got the Magister Militum moving forwards as well. A lot of these Scathless Teachers are kind of prone to being charged. We got the King's Fianna as well, just trying to keep order amongst his ranks. Let's take a look over here as well. Looks like we got the Desert Warlord engaged in melee against the Hatarier Guard. He's got to be careful there. Yeah, a couple of them being slaughtered at the hands of the Great Axes. But this Desert Warlord does look pretty awesome. I love his armor. Really flashy. Good, good, good. Let's jump back to the other side over here and kind of see what's going on. Yeah, we got a lot of cavalry flanking around here. Let's go ahead and pop this on slow motion. Yeah, they're going to destroy these crossbows over here. So it looks like the Ebdanians are kind of now surrounded. Here come their Scathless Teachers to reinforce the ranks. But it looks like the King's Warband is having a tough time. They're actually not doing too bad against the Desert Pikes over here. Actually, don't even see... Oh, here's their icon. Yeah, so they're down to half strength. I guess better positioning on the King's Warband. But here come the Scathless Teachers. They're running into battle. I love how they run with like their swords up in the air like that. But yeah, it looks like we got some breaking over here in the enemy Eastern Roman Empire's lines. The King's Warband stand victorious. I kind of hope that this guy gets slaughtered here, but it looks like they're going to let him escape. Don't let him escape. What did this guy do? He's also frozen in fear. Well, we've got the archers still firing down for the Eastern Roman Empire over here. Not really any cavalry to chase them down at the moment as well. And there's just an all-out brawl in the center here. The Hatarier Guard finally breaking to the might of the cavalry and camels. And what do we got? We got even more armored camel warriors moving into melee. This is going to be a gross charge. We are definitely going to watch this. Let's get the cinematic HUD here. These guys are like tanks. They will just push right through like hundreds of enemy warriors. It's insane. Penetrating right up to the ranks of their own Tanukhid ambushers over here. Just getting some really nice charges. I wonder what their charge bonus is if we take a look at that. I'm kind of curious, actually. Where's these camel warriors here? Armored camel warriors, charge bonus, 48. Oh, so you know what? It's not really that high, actually. You'd think it'd be higher than that, but... We got some Desert Levy over here fighting against some of the Mortimer cavalry, but that's not really anything that we need to concern ourselves with. Yes, unfortunately, the King's Fianna was slain over here. It was just the sheer amount of enemy soldiers that brought him down, really. He did fight to the bitter end, though. But unfortunately, that means it's pretty much bad news bears for the rest of the Ebdanians forces that are still alive and fighting. As soon as word spreads that the king has been slain, their morale will plummet pretty dramatically. And over here as well, looks like we got some spears over here fighting against the Magister Militum. He's going to have to be careful here, but again, he's not pulling his general out, which I really respect. I would personally rather try to get more cavalry in to break these units than to pull them out of melee. That would be like a last resort, and I bet you if he pulled out from these Celtic spearmen, he would die. That's just the way that Total War works with generals. They really punish you for using your general. But he is fighting on for now. I don't want to miss too much more of the battles, so looks like we're still fighting on over here. We've got some Protectores Dominici here fighting the King's Warband, and we got some Clibinari kind of kicking around as well, aiding their brothers. Archers are still firing, which must be super annoying for the Allied forces. But we got the general over here, who's about to be pelted by some arrows or javelins, whichever one he has. Yeah, here they come in. But they're actually going to come and charge into melee with these guys, which is pretty risky. The enemy general is fallen, so which one would that be? I believe that that's the one over here that was fighting the spears. Yeah, he's starting to waver now. So the Eastern Roman Empire has lost their general, but then again, so has Max Laser, and the Ebdanian forces have lost their general. But we do have the Palatina Guards. This is the allied Eastern Roman. This is the general over here. It looks like they're going to get kind of a rear charge, but it's mostly going to be softened up by the enemy forces. But if I kind of zoom out, you can see how depleted and surrounded this unit really is. So he probably will fall very, very soon, I'm thinking. I would love to know exactly where he is in here, but it's kind of hard to tell. Not sure where he is, but his unit is the one with the kind of the red plume. So they're pretty much surrounded at this point, as I already said. Oh yeah, that must be him dead now, because that's the only other allied general still alive. So that is not looking good. Definitely looking grim. The balance of power is actually still dead even, though, which is interesting. If we kind of take a bird's eye view of what's still left, most of the cavalry for the enemy forces has been eliminated. They've got a couple units over here. But unfortunately, the Ebdanians are down to a handful of troops, and most of them are wavering. But luckily, we've got some of these chosen raiders that are getting into these crossbows. So that's going to keep them from firing, which is good. And it looks like he's trying to close the jaws over here on this Roman infantry that's just making a break for it. They are trying to stay out of this little trap that's been formed. Oh. Random kill there. Oh, yes. Good one. With the feint high attack and then just right under the shield. Oh, yes. Go, King's Warband, go. I believe in you. But I'm seeing a lot of Eastern Roman cavalry over here as well, still holding out. And we've got some Hetaria guards still alive as well. Oh, no. Oh, a lot of death going on in this very small area here. Come on, kill this Hetaria guard. Get rid of him. He's surrounded. Oh, there we go. Got another one moving forwards over here. The cavalry is being picked apart. But it is a bloody mess over here. My goodness. It's a fight to the end. Oh, looks like they have broken. But we must be coming down to the few final minutes. Yes, looks like the Eastern Romans were pretty victorious. They are breaking some of the Protectores Dominici, but they're about to get a nice charge in the back from the general. Yeah, knocking a few down, actually. That wasn't as good of a charge as I thought it was going to be, but unfortunately their morale is just pitiful at this point. It's down to 17. And here comes the rest of the Eastern Roman cavalry. We do have some of the chosen raiders still alive over here, and we've also got one unit of Skada's teachers. I'll go ahead and lower this for you guys. So this is all that it's down to. So this is a very close battle. We've also got some wavering over here from the Cataphractory. 138 of the Ebdanians are still left, and 317 of the Eastern Roman Empire is left. So it looks like the Tanukhids have been completely destroyed. Yes, it's just down to a few hundred forces. We got Skada's teachers moving in as well. And this is pretty much where the battle ends, guys. This was a really, really fun battle and very close. I love when you get close battles like this, even due to an ambush as well. Well done to the enemies for having their head on their shoulders on that one. Oh, and here comes some more of the Hetaria Guard. I didn't know that they had any of them left. Oh, looks like the final unit of raiders has kind of tried to flank around because I think they still have a little bit of ammo left. Oh, but they're just going to charge in, hope for a massive break. But I think that the Eastern Roman Empire just has too much infantry. That's the main problem. Fight on to the bitter end, Ebdanians. Fight on. And that is the battle. I'm sure there's only a few seconds left. Yeah, 15 seconds. Most of them have broken, but brought down to 200 men. Very, very close defeat. That should say close defeat, not valiant defeat. But let's take a look at the results here. So Max Laser sent me the replay. Thank you so much, man. This was a really fun battle to watch. Seraga was the friendly Eastern Roman Empire. And then the enemies were right here, Chester and Lancegitans. So let's take a look at this army first. Pretty low kills, but unfortunately he was just overwhelmed by that combined cavalry force, so that's pretty much to be expected. Max Laser's force, a lot of his cavalry doing pretty solid, I would say. Even the raiders, 274, really, really good there. The King's Warband did pretty solid. Skada's teachers, not as good. This one did well, but most of them usually are supposed to get pretty high kills. They may have been focused down by a lot of the archer fire, and his archers didn't get many kills either. Looking at the enemy Eastern Roman Empire, his Protectores Dominici did pretty solid. A couple didn't do too well, but the Taria Guard, there you go, 349 again, and 184, so almost 200 kills there. And cavalry doing pretty solid. And looking at the Desert Pikes, yeah, you had a lot of these camels. Surprisingly, mixed bag of kills, like 9, 3, even 51 seems low, but then 109, 120, 99 pretty solid. And those ambushers as well, getting really high kills there. Look at that. That's insane. And the pikes were garbage. Yeah, the Desert Pikes aren't really worth it. I would have probably spent the extra money to go for the Tanukhid Pikes. And the Desert Levy, that one, 81 kills. That's pretty solid. So, thanks very much for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this battle. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future. And I will see you in the next one.